Hi everyone, welcome to EdTech Reviewed. My name is Artemis. I am the co-director at Supply to Teacher. Today I'm very happy to be joined by Anna Trethewey, who is the deputy director at LKM Co, a youth and education think and action tank. Anna was previously a teacher and youth worker, as well as a Teach First teacher trainer. And Anna also sits on Ofsted's curriculum review panel. So today's topic for the video is going to be whether or not flexible working can work for teachers and general modern workforce practice within teaching and schools. So Anna, I'd like to ask you, have you seen teachers find ways to reduce administrative work from their workflow, and has this had an effect on their well-being?
Oh, I think undoubtedly, if we think about workload, ways in which we can reduce that as much as possible, because we know it's one of the key drivers that's pushing teachers out of the profession, is really important. And I think the thing for teachers is what administrative jobs can be taken out of the work that you do. So that might be, I don't know, people out there might have to still do a lot of photocopying themselves, they might end up having to do letters for trips that actually could be outsourced to the admin team. And sometimes when you're in it, it's hard to think about how you can ask yourself the question, what do I not need to do? Because teachers often think about doing it all and trying to save everyone, but actually to make you a more effective teacher and freeing up your time, it's much better if you can kind of try and take some of those non-expertise tasks and give them to someone who can do them a bit quicker and a bit more efficiently than you, and actually your workload will reduce.
Sure, and do you think that also the fact that teaching is a really isolated job, do you feel like maybe teachers feel unnecessary pressure to do everything themselves sometimes?
I think there can be, and also I just think that when you're in it, up against a wall, getting tasks done, sometimes you feel like it takes more time to explain your task to somebody else than it does just to do it. But it only takes for you to explain it once for you to never have to do it again. So it's actually really useful for you to think about, well, what in here can I delegate out? What resources do I have? The only thing is, I think for some teachers, there aren't necessarily the resources there at the moment, and we know that with funding cuts, a lot of admin posts are being taken and got rid of. So sometimes actually it's quite difficult to see the wood from the trees in terms of where can you get extra support with work. And that comes in that isolation point, I think.
Yeah. And do you believe technology can help improve this? But also at the same time, do you believe that technology can be a hindrance in that work is always so instantly available?
So yeah, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head for me here. I work flexibly. I have a couple of days of childcare. The rest of the time I kind of have reduced hours, but I do what I need to, mainly facilitated by the technology that I have at my disposal. And that's really helpful because it means that I can communicate with the team quickly. I don't have to worry about being in person a lot of the time, so it means that I'm able to do things flexibly. And I realise that in terms of like the nuts and bolts of teaching, well, you have to be in the classroom at that time. But are there ways in which you can have online training that might better support people doing some learning at home, maybe after hours once the kids have gone to sleep? Are there ways in which you could just have better communication systems in schools, as opposed to, I mean, I had to write my reports out by hand when I first started teaching, and that wasn't that long ago. And I feel like the kind of level of technological capacity and ability within the profession is actually about 20 years behind a lot of other places. That's not to say that there aren't people out there doing fantastic things, but when people get quite excited about the role of technology, I'm often like, just remember the starting place, because small steps will take the profession with you, as opposed to coming in with this whizzy thing that changes people's lives that actually just sits in a drawer without anyone looking at it properly.
And are there specific administrative aspects of a teacher's life which you've seen can definitely be automated? So I mean, is there something, obviously administration, and I mean, if there's a specific area, which one was it that benefited the most, and what areas could be improved?
So I think there's a couple of really big back office functions that kind of quite often happen normally it's placed within a person or people who just do that as their job,
Mm-hmm.
and I actually think that you could probably shift some of that out through using different new technology. I think timetabling is probably a really good example.
Okay, yeah.
So I used to have at my last school 2 guys who would disappear into a shed over by the office for a week when it was time time, and then they just emerge, and you peek through and you could see like all sorts of kind of drawing pins and bits of paper. And I know that there are better ways out there of doing a timetabling system that would make their lives a lot easier. And they were both teaching staff, so it's a crazy use of their time. And I also think that when we're looking at how we then deploy our workforce,
Mm-hmm.
In terms of supply and teaching agencies,
Yeah.
there is a way in which you can minimise some of the effort of going out, speaking, getting all the different contacts, and then figuring out the jigsaw puzzle. It's actually much easier, I think, if you use technology to solve some of those problems.
Right. Thank you so much
Pleasure.
for holding this interview. And if you want to follow Anna on Twitter, I'll leave her Twitter handle in the in the description below, as well as LKM Co. And thank you so much for watching.